Welcome to Inside Marquette Basketball with head coach Shaka Smart. I'm Sophia Minert. We're sitting here at the Al McGuire Center right here at Center Court. Coach, you train and you practice together for weeks and months all summer long. You finally get to opening night against Radford. It was a great win for you guys. You win by 10 and you said after the game, the beauty of the first game, there's always a lot to grow on. So what did you see from your squad that first night?
Well, I think first of all, early in the year, you're looking for energy. You're looking for guys being connected with one another, and you're looking for guys trying to execute and carry over what you've worked on for 6 weeks of practice. And you don't take these early games for granted because you look all around the country and you see smaller schools knocking off bigger programs. So you're obviously looking for wins too. And for us in that Radford game, guys were so excited. First time playing in Fiserv Forum since last year. For our new guys, their first college basketball game. And I thought, the energy that our guys showed was terrific. There was definitely some jitters and some nerves, but I thought overall our guys' energy, we had 39 deflections, we had 8 kills. So anytime we can come out of a game with those two numbers, we're gonna be in pretty good shape to win.
You touch on the defense there. There was a stretch in the game where you held Radford to 6 scoreless minutes and you were able to put together a 16-0 run. And I know the guys said after the game they wanted a defensive identity. They wanted to establish that. What did you see from them specifically in that stretch, Coach? I know that probably made you happy.
Well, that was our theme for the game. We always have a game theme, and it was defensive identity. And of course, you don't want that to be your theme just one game. That's who you want to be all year long. But as our first game, it's really easy when you get into the first game to think about, I want to score, I want to go have highlights. I got my family watching me. I want to show what I can do on the offensive end. So I thought, there were stretches in that game, as you mentioned, Sophia, where our defense was very good. There were other stretches where we had lapses. And then they got in there together. We got 2 consecutive kills and went on a 16-0 run.
Oso had a great game offensively and kind of helped lead the way for you guys. 19 points for him. He was 1 of 4 in double figures. What did Oso show you for an opening night?
Well, it's great to see him playing now in this new role. Really since the very beginning of the spring, Sophia, he's shown that he can do more and he wants to do more. Last year he was part B of a 2-headed monster with Kerr, and he would come in the game and really give us energy and impact the game, but he didn't have as big of an offensive role as he has this year. Now, I would say probably other than Tyler, he's as much of a playmaker as anyone on our team, and we really like the ball being in his hands. So in that Radford game, I thought he showed a lot of versatility. He showed a great job handling the ball and either creating an opportunity for himself or for his teammates.
And Tyler Kolek really put together a complete game as well. It was nearly a triple-double for him. He had 9 assists. How much did the game flow through Tyler and just him continuing to be that leader on the floor?
Well, he's as good a passer as there is, and he's a guy that he's really worked on his shooting. He's always been a very good shooter, but he's always been someone that before last year, shooting was his primary thing. Now, last year and this year, his primary job is to lead our team and create for others and run our offense. Our team plays with good pace when he's in the game, and there's really good flow from one thing to the next, and that's largely because of Tyler.
And as we were getting the season started, we talked about the freshmen, and Chase Ross got some extended time, 22 minutes. You mentioned, there were a lot of jitters for everyone on the floor last night, but especially for a freshman playing in his first collegiate game in front of the home crowd, to get that kind of extended run on the floor. What did he show you?
Well, Chase has really good poise, and he's someone that there's a calmness to him that it's interesting. Sometimes I'm on him to show more energy, but for sure the positive side of his poise and his calmness is that he doesn't get overly rattled in situations like my first college basketball game. And that was one of the more impressive games that I've seen for a guy in his freshman year in his very first game.
Well, after the Radford win, you had a quick turnaround, and it was a unique game. It was right here at the Al McGuire Center against Central Michigan, and sold out, students only attendance. Just describe what the environment was like here, because I think for fans watching at home, seeing the whiteout, seeing students only, it looked like such an incredible atmosphere.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sophia, the whole day was awesome. Got a chance in the middle of the day to spend some time around a bunch of students on campus, and you could just kind of feel the excitement and the energy. It takes on a different feel, and our guys were so excited. I don't think it could have gone any better from the standpoint of the atmosphere and the way that our students were, the energy that they gave our team. I thought we played really, really well, again, for stretches in that game. Thought there were other stretches where we weren't as good as we needed to be. But as I told the team after the game, this is the time of year where you're striving to put together a full 40 minutes of basketball. Most teams are not there yet. The best teams are gonna get there, and that's what we gotta work towards.
And it's early in the season, but I think we can safely say that was the David Joplin game. Hopefully he's got more incredible performances ahead of him, but a career-high 23, the 6 threes, and you had told us that David, maybe more so than any other player, could take a huge step forward this year. How did he show that against Central Michigan?
Well, you know, Sophia, he did that in our second close scrimmage. We played Missouri. He had 28 points. And he was really, really impressive with his aggressiveness on offense and the way he played on the defensive end. So what he did the other night against Central Michigan was not surprising. I gotta disagree with you. I hope he does that again. I don't want that to be the highlight of his sophomore year in game 2. He's very, very capable. He's still learning the confidence that goes into playing that way on a regular basis. He can do it, but he's got to know he can do it. But I really like the energy that his teammates put into him. He drew off of our students and our crowd, and he's a big key for us because he comes off the bench, and we need him to be a great two-way player, defensive end, rebounding, but then also putting the ball in the basket.
And Ben Gold was another freshman who, again, you could see confidence growing for him on the court with the extended minutes that he got.
Well, I'll tell you what, he went in the game, we put him in relatively early, and he was in the back of our press, and he ran through a pass and got a steal. And so right when I saw him do that, I said, you know what, I think this guy's really ready. And it's amazing. On the very next offensive possession, we ran a pick and pop play for him, and he hit a three-point shot. And you could just see almost a sense of relief for him because he puts a lot of pressure on himself with shooting. And he's a guy that's going to make a lot of threes over the course of his career. But early in his career, he really, sometimes hangs on that shooting. But it's a great example of something that maybe a lot of fans or even players sometimes don't fully understand. I was confident to run that pick and pop play for him because he ran through the pass in our press. And so the connection between the energy that you show, doing what we ask you to do, deflections, and then putting you in position to take and make an open shot is huge. And then from there, I thought he really played with good aggressiveness. The highlight for him was probably the dunk that he had, but it was a fun atmosphere. Our guys really enjoyed it. And again, just really grateful for our marketing folks that put everything together. There was a lot of work and energy that went into that game and everything before it. And also for our student crowd that came out and really supported us.
Yeah, I think that game was start to finish energy generating behavior, right? I think we were off the charts EGBs.
It was pretty high. I can't give you start to finish yet. It certainly was in the building, but from our team, we've got a couple more jumps before we get to that.
Shaka Smart's interview is presented by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank, the official banking partner of Marquette University.
Golden Eagles fans, open a Marquette checking account with Wintrust Wisconsin's bank today and score golden perks like a $50 opening bonus, free ATMs nationwide, and your very own exclusive MU Golden Eagles debit card. Rep the blue and gold at home or on the road. And don't miss this golden opportunity to let everyone know. Scan now to open your account today. Wintrust Wisconsin's bank, proud to be the official bank of Marquette University.
Now's the time for a healthy start. So let's move. Let's rest and recharge. And put our health first. Let's be well. To do that, let's eat well. Breathe deep. Find joy in the little moments. And do what we love with who we love. Together, let's live well. Aurora Healthcare.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of Marquette Athletics. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Look at that turkey.
Come on, let's eat.
Yeah. All right, burger, yes, sir.
Now you can feed more people than ever before.
Does everyone have everything they need?
Thanksgiving week, if your purchase includes Meyer brand food, our Simply Give program will provide a meal to feed a neighbor in need.
Welcome back to Inside Marquette Basketball. Our conversation continues here with head coach Shaka Smart. So coach, you've got 2 wins under your belt now. There's certainly, I'm sure, areas that you're continuing to work on with your team, and some of that just because of the new pieces that you're adding and the offense by committee, some of the identities you're trying to establish. You're experimenting with lineups. So what have you liked about some of the groups that you've been able to see on the floor now in these first 2 games?
We've always played a lot of different lineups. We've never really, depended on just 1 or 2 or 3 lineups. Obviously, you have your starting group until that changes, and they end up playing the most together because you got the first 3-4 minutes of each half, and then any other time that they're together in the game. So that lineup's been really good so far. It'll be interesting as we go into future games with different teams, bigger teams, teams that play zone, teams that do different things, what lineups emerge. I really, as I mentioned earlier, I like how Chase Ross has blended in with some of our other groups and other lineups. Sean Jones gives us a added quality of quickness when he goes in. Thought he did a great job in the Central Michigan game of creating 2 really high quality 3-point shots for Tyler Kolek. We talked a lot about Tyler shooting. What makes you a better shooter is when you have someone that can create shots for you. What people need to understand is the way you feel about yourself as a player changes when you see the ball go in, particularly from the 3-point shot. So when Tyler made those shots, it just gives you an added confidence and added belief all around. And I'm talking about offense, defense, leadership. And so we're just kind of figuring out how different guys all fit together. And I like the fact that the first 2 games at least, we've gotten a lot of minutes and a lot of experience for guys coming off the bench.
How important was that for you? As you're starting the season, you've got these early games to get the 3 freshmen involved, to try these different lineups, and to get everybody, right, some run on the floor and see kind of who's connecting as a group and the units that you like together.
Yeah, Sophia, I think anytime early in the year, you want to get guys as much experience as you can, but you have to prioritize winning too. And you never want to sub in a game and take away from your chances to win. And I think if you look at college basketball around the country, that's why you see some coaches, they say, hey, I'm playing 6-7 guys until we're up by 30 points and there's maybe 4 minutes left and then I can sub. But for us, I really believe, and I've always believed this in coaching, the opportunity that you give young guys early in the year and the opportunity that you give them when the game is still undecided and they're a part of deciding the game is invaluable for the future. And with the way that we're trying to build our program, the guys that are your 8th, 9th, 10th guys, those guys are going to be starters at some point. And you want to grow them up, but the only way to do that is through them getting opportunity on the floor. I was really glad to see Kean come in the game and get his first basket. He's a freshman basketball-wise because he redshirted last year. So any minutes that we can get those guys are valuable minutes. And again, as we tell our guys each year, we are going to need our freshmen in a crucial moment, in a big game, that can change our season in a positive way.
I think it was Oso Ighodaro who made the comment after the Radford game that said, he believes that you have a team that's very challenging for opponents to defend because of just the different looks you present, the versatility, how deep you guys are, right? You're gonna use almost everyone. Do you think that's true for how much they could develop?
Absolutely.
From now until?
Yeah, there's a lot of room for growth. And that's why we set a goal in August. We said, we want to grow as much or more than anyone in the country between now and the end of the season. And then we added to that, we want to be playing our best basketball in late February and during the month of March. And if you think about that, those two things go hand in hand. You can't be playing your best basketball if you don't grow from each of these game opportunities. Oso's exactly right. When we play with great connectivity, great speed and pace, when the guys are creating for each other, we are very, very difficult to defend. But that's not a given. You know, we've got to go out there and we've got to emphasize those things. We've got to play for each other. We've got to make sure it's not, hey, I have the ball, so it's my turn to go attack. It's reading the defense, it's creating for our teammates, and it's playing to our strengths.
Inside Marquette Basketball is brought to you by Aurora Healthcare. Live well to be well.
Now's the time for a healthy start. So let's move. Let's rest and recharge. And put our health first. Let's be well. To do that, let's eat well. Breathe deep. Find joy in the little moments. And do what we love with who we love. Together, let's live well. Aurora Healthcare.
Golden Eagles fans, open a Marquette checking account with Wintrust Wisconsin's Bank today and score golden perks like a $50 opening bonus, free ATMs nationwide, and your very own exclusive MU Golden Eagles debit card. Rep the blue and gold at home or on the road. And don't miss this golden opportunity to let everyone know. Scan now to open your account today. Wintrust Wisconsin's Bank, proud to be the official bank of Marquette University.
Mom!
Become who you're truly meant to be. Marquette University. Be the difference.
Look at that turkey. Oh,
Come
yes,
on,
ma'am.
let's
Oh,
eat.
yeah, son, you get one.
Yes.
All right, burger, yes, sir.
Now you can feed more people than ever before.
Does everyone have everything they need?
Thanksgiving week, if your purchase includes Meyer brand food, our Simply Give program will provide a meal to feed a neighbor in need.
Welcome back to Inside Marquette Basketball. We're just getting the 2022 season underway, but we're also looking ahead to the future. As Coach, you guys just wrapped up signing day, and you'll be adding 3 new players to your program next year. And this is always an exciting day, right? Because so much time, energy, resources goes into just recruiting these players all over the country, the relationships that are built to finally get that commitment to come to Marquette. So when you look at the 3 players that you've added for next year, what stands out to you about the skill set and the people?
I'm really excited about all 3 of these guys, Sophia. You got Zayd Lowry, a young man that we're super excited about. He's from Springfield, Missouri. He made the move this past offseason to La Lumiere, which is one of the premier basketball prep schools in the country. They actually play in this new really neat league of about 12 to 14 prep schools all around the country where they fly all over and they play against each other. It's literally the top talent in the United States from a prep standpoint. He's 6'4", very athletic. He's a great mover. He's one of those guys, his body moves differently than the rest of us. Defensively, we're excited because he really gets his hands on the basketball. He can guard multiple positions, and he's a guy similar to Chase Ross that will take on a defensive identity from day one. Al Amadou, 6'9", very talented, has a smile that lights up a room, He's a young man that, from a character standpoint, doesn't get any better. He is a guy that, like Zaid, comes from a great family and is just scratching the surface of what he can do basketball-wise. He's very skilled. He's got long arms that just extend. So he'll have some of those dunks where he takes off from so far away, you're like, he's not gonna dunk that, and then he just extends his arms, and he does. Can shoot the three-point shot as well, so he's very versatile. The way that we like bigger guys to be. He'll be able to play multiple positions for us. And then last but not least, Trey Norman. He, from a standpoint of competitive character and affecting winning, he's probably the most far along of any freshman that we've brought in here at this point. But remember now, Sophia, for all these guys, they still have their last year in high school to play. So a huge emphasis that we give to every signee that signs with us in November is, hey man, let's really, really take advantage of this year to prepare. We just started our season. That means there's roughly 360 days until you start your freshman season. And there's a great opportunity, but Trey Norman's a guy that everywhere he's been, he's won. And it feels good because the way that we've chosen to go about building our program is by making sure that we establish great relationships with the young men that we recruit and their families from an early age. So these are guys that we started recruiting in 2 out of 3 instances before their junior years. In the third instance, very early in his junior year. So you're talking about a long-standing relationship that was a year or a year plus in the making before they signed to come to Marquette. And I feel great about that for a few reasons. Number one, they know us and we know them. So from the standpoint of it being a good fit both ways, not just them being a good fit for Marquette, but Marquette and Marquette basketball being a good fit for them, I feel really good about that. Their eyes are wide open, they know what they're getting into. They've all been here when we've had basketball events going on, whether it's games or practice, so they know what we do. And then number two, there's a real trust that's been built up over that time. So this group of 3, I can't tell you Marquette fans how excited you need to be about these 3 guys. Like all of our freshmen, it's gonna take them some time to come here and affect the game, but they're gonna get better and better and better in time, and they're phenomenal people.
Inside Marquette Basketball is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Injuries can affect every part of your life. Trust our team at Gruber Law Offices to get you back in the game. Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of Marquette Athletics. One call, that's all.
Golden Eagles fans, open a Marquette checking account with Wintrust Wisconsin's Bank today and score golden perks like a $50 opening bonus, free ATMs nationwide, and your very own exclusive MU Golden Eagles debit card. Rep the blue and gold at home or on the road. And don't miss this golden opportunity to let everyone know. Scan now to open your account today. Wintrust Wisconsin's Bank, proud to be the official bank of Marquette University.
Now's the time for a healthy start. So let's move. Let's rest and recharge. And put our health first. Let's be well. To do that, let's eat well. Breathe deep. Find joy in the little moments. And do what we love with who we love. Together, let's live well. Aurora Healthcare.
Look at that turkey.
Come on, let's eat.
Yeah. All right, burger, yes, sir.
Now, you can feed more people than ever before.
Does everyone have everything they need?
Thanksgiving week, if your purchase includes Meyer brand food,
Thank you.
our Simply Give program will provide a meal to feed a neighbor in need.
Inside Marquette Basketball is presented by Wintrust, Wisconsin's Bank, the official banking partner of Marquette University. Aurora Healthcare, live well to be well. And by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Inside Marquette basketball continues here with head coach Shaka Smart. And coach, as we're sitting here this morning at the Al McGuire Center, your team is getting ready to head to West Lafayette to play your first road game against Purdue for the Gavitt games. And after that, you're going to continue playing on the road. You're going to be heading to Fort Myers, which is going to be a lot of fun for the Rocket Mortgage tip-off there in Florida. So just overall, you've had 2 great games here at home under your belt. You've got some minutes for your team under your belt, but now the challenge gets a little bit tougher when you head on the road, right?
Well, either way, this is an awesome opportunity for us going on the road, playing against a high quality team at Purdue. And either way, we have to take a growth mindset coming out of that game. And there's going to be so many ways when we look at that tape, offensively and defensively, we can improve. I think the important thing for our team, particularly early in the season, but throughout the season, is to stay cognizant of that goal to grow as much as anyone in the country. When we come back home, we actually do have one more home game on a short turnaround before we head to Fort Myers. And so the great thing about all these games is that they all present different challenges, mentally, physically, as a group, and then also for our individual players. So it's exciting early in the year to kind of get this rapid fire series of challenges and to see how much we can grow from each one.
And Fort Myers, obviously, they were just affected by the hurricane just about a month or so ago. And so the team and Marquette Athletics is doing some donations that you guys are going to take to Fort Myers to help that community in need. I mean, how impactful is that for your team to participate in that as well?
Well, we want to help in any ways that we can. I know we're doing a couple events here before we leave. And then when we go down there, the Sunday before we play on Monday. On that Sunday, we'll have an opportunity to do some community service there. We're also super excited about the fact that, they kind of debated, are we still going to be able to have this event in Fort Myers? And they decided that we can. This will be the first, big event from a sports perspective back in Fort Myers, and we're excited about hopefully bringing some excitement and some joy and some fun basketball. And then for all the Marquette folks that live on that, Gulf side of Florida that are relatively close, come on down and watch us because I know there's a lot of Marquette people down there. And so we want to press that advantage.
The relationships are important. Hopefully we can pick up a few more victories as you guys hit the road as well. Thanks, Coach, so much for the time. Best of luck as you guys hit the road. That's Inside Marquette Basketball here with head coach Shaka Smart.
This has been a presentation from Learfield,